Empty train. Lucy got on the train at Ashford. As the train left the sleepy little town, she gazed out the window and reflected on the weekend she had spent with her parents there. A comfortable house, home-cooked food, very different to her life in London. She lived in a small, cramped room and shared a kitchen with people she barely knew. Most meals were takeouts. She stretched her legs out in front of her and watched as the train rolled past the outskirts of the town. Tomorrow morning she would be standing on the Central line, shoulder to shoulder with people, trying to hold on to the handrail above her head. Commuting in London was such a drag. A man came into the carriage and edged past Lucy's large suitcase in the aisle. She got up and looked at it for a moment, then bent and dragged it up onto the luggage rack above her seat with a short burst of effort. Her mother had packed it full of essentials, tins of food, sweaters she had bought in the small local department store, and a collection of books. Home comfort items. Lucy glanced down the carriage. No one was on their phone. No scrolling, no headphones, no tapping at screens. Every person sat quietly, hands in their laps, staring out of the window as the train trundled along the tracks. Even a young boy, no more than 9 or 10, sat perfectly still, his hands resting on his knees, his eyes fixed on the passing fields. Shouldn't he be playing some loud game on a tablet? Further down, a young couple sat side by side in exactly the same way, hands in their laps, gazing out of the window, unmoving. No one spoke. No one shifted in their seat. There was no rustle of bags, no coughs, no movement at all. It felt off. Lucy sat down slowly. Usually, if she were on the Underground on her way to work, her eyes would be fixed on her phone. But the scenes outside were too beautiful to ignore. A typical English countryside view. Green fields stretching into the distance. Sheep grazing lazily. She realised she hadn't properly looked at a view like this in months. It felt better than any screen. The train suddenly plunged into a tunnel and the light vanished. The sound changed at once, louder, closer, filling the carriage. The steady rhythm of the wheels echoed through the enclosed space. Lucy sat still, listening. The darkness went on longer than she expected. Then, at last, the train burst back out into the sunlight. The green fields returned. Lucy blinked, adjusting to the light, and breathed in deeply. Her eyes drifted to the aisle. She frowned. Every seat around her was empty. Lucy sat up straight. She looked again. Not a single person. The boy was gone. The couple. The man who had passed her earlier. All gone. Lucy stood, her heart beginning to beat faster, and stepped into the aisle. There were no bags, no coats, nothing left behind. This made no sense. She moved quickly down the carriage, glancing into each row. Nothing. When she reached the door to the next carriage, it slid open automatically. She stepped through. Empty. A flicker of unease ran through her. She moved faster now, pushing through the next door. Another carriage, also empty. The low hum of the train seemed louder now. the faint sway of the carriage beneath her feet more noticeable. Lucy broke into a run. She hurried through carriage after carriage, her footsteps echoing as she moved, the doors sliding open and shut behind her. "Hello?" she called out. "Is anyone here?" Her voice sounded small, swallowed by the length of the train. No answer. She kept going, faster now, until she reached the end of the train. The door ahead of her swung slightly with the motion, opening a fraction, then closing again. Lucy slowed. She gripped the headrests on either side of her as she took the final steps forward. "Is there someone there?" she called. Nothing. The door swung open again. Lucy reached out and pulled it wide. Inside were 2 swivel seats and the controls for the train. Both seats were empty. Through the wide front window, the tracks stretched ahead, the rhythmic pattern of the sleepers flickering past beneath them. In the distance, the outline of the next station came into view. The platform rushed closer. The driver's seat remained empty.